What is good, family? This is your girl. I am Courtney Michelle, and thank you guys for joining me this evening. I'm super excited about tonight and what we have in store. You guys have seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail. We are going to be talking about Wakanda Forever. You guys, Lord, I got so much to say. Let me tell you, when I first saw the movie, and I made a video, which I'm going to get in. It has been a crazy week and a half. So I want to talk about the video I made. If you guys have not seen it, I'm going to bring it up. And then I do want to talk about the movies. I have two amazing guests that's going to be joining me today to do a review over the movie. Might be a little different than I think a lot of people expect, but I'm completely used to that. So thank you guys for joining me. Make sure you hit the like button because we are going to go ahead and get started. All right, Wakanda Forever. First, let me say this. Black Panther was completely important to me. I think that was really the first time that me as a Black woman seeing a Black man as a king and regal and powerful, beautiful, it inspired me. And it completely made me more like a comic book fan, and I wanted to know more about that, know more about Marvel. And then I started watching things in Marvel because I got completely intrigued. So, of course, when Wakanda Forever came out, I was kind of hesitant because of the passing of Chadwick Boseman. I did not know how it was going to play out. I know the feeling that I had when I saw Black Panther. And when I left there, and I was doing the whole Wakanda Forever for about a month. So I was watching kind of the trailers of Wakanda Forever and, of course, the posters. And I was like, well, this might be a little different. So I went to the movies and I saw it. And I can admit that I was disappointed. The feeling that I had when I went to go see Black Panther was definitely not the feeling that I had when I went to go see Wakanda Forever. The disappointment that I had was a disappointment that I have been having for the other movies that I've seen, Woman King, of course, being one, was still the continuation and the perpetuation of Black women being warriors and strong and killing, and nothing about Black women being just women. So I made a video as soon as I left the movie theater about my disappointment. Now, I had no idea that it would get the traction that it did. But now that I'm seeing more, learning more, I'm not surprised. And I'm not surprised because whenever you speak truth, the masses is going to hate you. It is what it is. So I'm going to play my viral video and then I'm going to talk about it and we're going to go from there. So this is the video I posted on TikTok. Let's check it out. I am pissed because if Pushing an Agenda was a movie, this would be in the forefront of that. This was Woman King on steroids. If you think that I'm gonna believe 100-pound Black woman soaking wet is just an almighty warrior and can just body dudes like it's no tomorrow, come on. Like, instead of Wakanda, it should have been called Where Are the Men? Because they was not there, they were not present, and the ones that was there was weak. But all the women that was in the movie was just brolic, built, strong Hercules. What is this saying to us? Perpetuating the idea of the strong Black woman and a subservient Black effeminate man. I just think it's disgusting. I'm completely upset by the movie. And man, if this Kyrie Irving didn't teach me anything, it's when you put your life career in the hands of other people that don't look like you, then they can make you do whatever they want you to do. And this movie does not represent what African culture is. It doesn't represent what our culture needs to be. So, nah, I'm good on Wakanda.
Where are the men?
Yeah, I said it. Okay. Yeah. Where are the men? There was one. Shout out to Killmonger. He was in there for about 2 minutes. Shout out to M'Baku. He probably a total of 10 minutes out of a movie that was 2 hours and 41 minutes long. But no, it wasn't. What I saw in Black Panther and the strength that I saw in Black Panther, and what I think that not only it's a comic book, like we get it, but even the idea, what it represents, and how it made us as a community feel, because we don't get that much. Okay, we have a lot of things that going wrong in our images as far as Black women and men doesn't look too well. And so when I saw something that championed something that I'm used to seeing of regalness and strength and intelligence, and that coming from a man, and a man being a leader and leading his whole country, when I see that gone and erased, I have a problem with it. And so I made the video. And it got a whole lot of comments, a lot of reaction videos. TikTok tried to take it down. I had to fight them to get it back up, and I'm still getting comments to this day. So I want to show you guys some of the stuff that has been said, which again, I am surprised. No, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that it is not championed when a woman wants a Black, not even a Black man, a man to lead. It is not championed when a woman speaks about a woman understanding her role, wanting to be a supportive role, or even just wanting to see herself on screen being sweet, soft, feminine, nice, laid back, wanting the man to lead, and I can sit back and do my nails. That's not championed. Now, I did say in there that it was an agenda, and I'm going to get in that in a minute, but let me show you guys. Oh, the fun, great comments and videos that I got responding to what I stated.
Tell me you don't know your true story without telling me you don't know your true story. Because The Woman King was based off of a true story. But Google is all the way the F rate. But you go ahead and keep tap dancing for Massa and his white supremacy patriarchal idealisms. Because the warriors in Wakanda were based off of the warriors in Woman King, which was based off of true story from our history, the true history. But like I say, Google is all the way the F free. Because in Africa, before the colonizers came in, we were seen as one unit, male and female alike. But you have the day you deserve.
I see all of y'all in the comment section, even my mutuals, getting them together, right? And I see so many of y'all pretty much saying the things that I was going to say. But I more so want to address the fact that it really does hurt my feelings as a dark-skinned woman seeing somebody of lighter complexion try to act like dark-skinned women did not deserve to be viewed as heroic. That we did not deserve a spot in Marvel movies, a spot in Hollywood to be viewed as heroes and still being viewed as beautiful Black women. You try to emasculate the Black man. It's an agenda. Girl, it's a comic book that they made come to life. Very simple. The levels of which y'all are willing to project your internalized misogyny onto other people is actually very scary. Baby, it's a comic book turned into a movie. I promise you will be able to go to bed at night. I promise. It's the way when I went to go see the movie, I literally said somebody's going to turn this into an anti-Black woman speech. Here we are.
Now, how in the fuck did you manage to be a pick-me while going to see a movie? Like, you hate women that much? I don't even like women like that, for real. Because of women like you, like, bitches get on my nerves. But how did you become such a pick-me while watching a science fiction movie? I cannot believe 100-pound girl is just in here bodying. You believe that nigga was flying from his ankles? Huh? You believe they was just jumping out of the water? Just throwing high-tech water balloons in motherfuckers, drowning them? You believe Wakanda actually exists? with this force field and vibranium. Shut the fuck. Oh my gosh. Shut the fuck. Okay. So since my more energetic video got taken down, I'm gonna try it again. Okay. It was based on the comics. Sis, based on the comics. Don't believe me? Okay. This came out, which I have several of them, okay, right after the first Black Panther. But even before then, Shuri Ben played Black Panther before, sis. Storm has been Black Panther before. Black Panther has been several different people, including his beloved sister, Shuri. Moreover, it was based on a comic book. Did you believe Namor had wings for feet and has an underwater land too? An underwater country too? Like, did you believe that part? Also, the Black Panther comic book has always featured strong Black women fighting alongside in support of whoever sits on the throne, including Black men who were serving as Black Panther. Like, okay, so if you didn't get it, just say you didn't get it. But for you to bring this like Hotepi, massage noir type of take to the, like, don't bring it here. Don't bring it here. No.
To me, Wakanda Forever is better than the first one because it weeds out a lot of the people that are misogynistic, misandrous, sexist, racist, and colorist, as well as shows a lack of research that people do just like you. Because when you think about it, it deals with past culture that we went through as a people as well as today, and also shows the 100-pound soaking wet women that you're talking about that you're being misandrous towards, since it's based on history. Also, might I add, those women fought men as big as M'Baku. It doesn't make any sense when you're a Black woman who's being misandrous towards other Black women, as well as colorist towards your own history, and fail to do your own research.
So out of that minute and a half video, I'm a colorist, misandrous, I hate women. Someone called me homophobic. All that because I champion male leadership and wanting to see that in cinema. So much that I want to say, but it's ridiculous. If anything, I champion women. Why would I want women, particularly Black women, wanting to be always so hard, rough, and tough? If I'm saying that I champion and I want to see men, hell, be leaders, what they rightfully are, and women as women, what is that a problem? And now I'm colorist because all of a sudden I don't want to see dark-skinned women. I'm not that light. And again, I champion Black Panther. So it was just the weirdest thing. And the comments that I'm getting is so off balance. But again, it just tells me the times that we are in, that women that are more traditional, women with a different mind state will get bashed, called everything but a child of God. I got a clip before and someone told me it was, they said that our society is becoming so tolerant, extremely tolerant, that now we have become intolerant, meaning that if you don't tolerate what I want you to tolerate, then I will intolerate you and make you look and sound a mess, make fun of you, call you everything. You hate women, you're colorist, you can't stand Black women, you blah, 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 blah. Let me make something very, very clear. If you guys think that movies are just movies and it's just for entertainment, you are fooling yourself. Hell, I remember the first time going to see Black Panther. You think people thought it was just a movie? Exhibit A. The people showed up in African garb as if they was from Uganda. Okay, like Wakanda was for real in real life. So you telling me it's just a movie, but on the flip side, you're dressed up like you're in Kenya. These people from Alabama talking about Wakanda forever and all dressing garb. So no, movies are not just movies, and sometimes things like this inspire you. So miss me with that. As a matter of fact, it was funny because I saw, one of the ladies that said something about me saying that it's just a movie and get over yourself. It's just a movie. But then on her page was posting this.
Reacted to the
What? The very first black man made. Oh, she's beautiful. Disney made a right choice. This. Damn right, brother.
So if movies are just movies, then what the hell are we so excited about a Black Mermaid for? If it's just a movie. But you want to post your children about the excitement of a Black Mermaid, but a movie is just a movie? Or do movies inspire? Or do movies push agendas that can go through globally because the whole globe sees these things? So if I want the image of what I think women should be, and particularly women that look like me should be, and you come with that, it's just a movie crap, then I don't want to see nothing about no Black Mermaid. It's just a contradiction, but of course it is, because again, the more tolerant people want you to be, the more intolerant they become. So if I'm not pushing what you want and what you want to see, and it's something different, then you want to shut up or silence someone or censor someone. I remember growing up, and my brothers and the images that they saw. Of course, back in the day, back in the 90s, there was NWA and, gangster rap and all that. But then there was also other images that we had that showed what I knew Black men, Black boys to be. And this is, I'm going to show my age, but that's fine. I remember seeing images of Dwayne Wade and them flip glasses and how he was a nerd and an engineer and absolutely smart at math, but still had the ladies. Like, he was cool. I remember seeing Malcolm Jamal Warner as Theo in the Cosby Show, and how he had, I think, a learning disability, but was going to college and wanting to learn, and he was cool. See, we had images that could counter what we saw as negative. We had positive images also back then that also inspired. But what do we have now? I'll tell you what we got now. Rappers dying by every other day. The images that our children, our boys are seeing is this. So when we have a movie that has the propensity to show something powerful for our little boys to see and be proud of, and it's erased by a whole bunch of manly women, hell yeah, I'm going to say something. Because I remember when the movie came out, our boys was like this. And this is what we need to see. Proud. Is there an agenda? Damn right it is. Yes, it is. And it's the erasing of men. Now, I'm going to say this. I thought Wakanda, was long as hell. Okay. But ideally, great acting. Angela Bassett nails it as always. Hell, the outfits, always beautiful. But what I saw was something that I missed out when I saw the first Black Panther. And that's why I decided to say something. And I'm going to continue to say it. Doing research for this, and I'm going to bring my guest up here. I saw this. No, first, let me pull this up because I want to make sure that you guys are aware too. Because there was a woman in that video that was talking about the woman king and our history. And again, it's still the idea of these strong, just masculine women. But I wish that they could sit down and take a cup of tea and relax. Okay, we need to relax as women sometimes as well too. But let me be clear, because a lot of people don't research. The Dahomey tribe was absolutely real. However, it was 30% of the tribe. 30%. 30% of the tribe was women. You wouldn't know that, of course, because they wanted you to show a fleet of women. But it was just 30%. Well, where was the 70% of men? Where were they at? Erased, gone, not talked about, as if they weren't important, as if they didn't die for their country. And you know what? Hi, Kevin. Kevin Fiegel. Excuse me. For gay. Now, you guys know, because everyone was talking about Ryan Coogler and, he was the man, the director. Well, Ryan always has a boss, and this is the man that has been over Marvel since 2007. Interesting, however, because I was researching him a little bit, and again, about the agenda that clearly Marvel is taking the place of, but they're telling you. So again, with all the pushback that I'm getting, they are literally telling you. It's Vicky, I got it. They want more female than male heroes in MCU. He is telling you that he wants more women than men. So it's not that I'm making it up or I just hate women. These are facts.
More LGBT plus characters into the MCU, specifically the T, trans characters?
Yes, absolutely, yes. Awesome. And very soon. In a movie that we're shooting right now. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
One more time.
Plans on bringing more LGBT plus characters into the MCU, specifically the T, trans characters?
Yes, absolutely, yes. Awesome. And very soon. In a movie that we're shooting right now. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Now, he tried to say that he didn't mean transgender, which, it's fine. And it's okay. If that's what he's going to do, that's what he's going to do. But the idea is, yes, men are being erased. And yes, it's going to be more women, and it's going to be more people of different sexualities and all that. So it is what it is. Now, whether you agree with it or not, that's on you. But you can't debate a fact when they're literally telling you that the things that you knew about our superheroes and men in leadership, it's going away. And I'm sorry, as a woman, I'm not a fan of seeing men erased in our movies as leaders, because they're the ones that's supposed to lead. I'm sorry, I don't want to be no man. I like makeup and doing my hair. I'm going to invite some of my people on. I got a couple more clips that I want to play, but I want to get their response. But before I do, I'm gonna do this, because Chadwick Boseman is completely missed. And I know that he knew that his character as a Black Panther transcended a lot of things. I know that he knew that his role inspired and had little boys and even little girls, regardless of race at this point, gave them hope. And yeah, movies do that.
I would say, they're two little kids, Ian and Taylor, who recently passed from cancer, and throughout our filming, I was communicating with them, knowing that they were both terminal, and what they said to me and their parents said they're trying to hold on till this movie comes. And I, to a certain degree, you hear them say that and you're like, wow, that's like, I gotta get up and go to the gym. I gotta get up and go to work. I gotta learn these lines. I gotta work on this accent. Seeing how devoted all of my castmates are, and knowing that will be something meaningful to them. But it's, to a certain degree, it's a humbling experience, because you're like, this can't mean that much to them, But seeing how the world has taken us on, seeing how the movement is, how it's taken on a life of its own, I realized that they anticipated something great. And I think back now to a kid and just, waiting for Christmas to come, waiting for my birthday to come, waiting for a toy that I was going to get a chance to experience, or a video game. I did live life waiting for those moments. And so it put me back in the mind of being a kid, just to experience those two little boys' anticipation of this movie. And when I found out that they
take your time with it.
yeah, it means a lot.
Hello, guys. How are you? Welcome to the panel.
What up, what up, what up?
So first, you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves, and thank you, because I know you guys are new to I Am Courtney Michelle. So we'll start with you. We'll do ladies first.
Yep, ladies first.
Yes.
How you guys doing? I am Tyra with Struggle Reviews TV. I do movie and TV commentary. I'm just so honored to be here. Like, I had no clue what I was walking into with all the pushback. I was like, wow. But I, of course, just posted my review for this movie yesterday. And honestly, I didn't want to talk about it. I did not want to talk about it because I already knew what it was going to be. I had my opinion set on it, and it's hard now, because it's like you're almost not allowed to say what you feel. But at the end of the day, I'm going to say what I feel. And if I feel like the film was presented a certain way, I'm going to express that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And go ahead, introduce yourself.
So, Court, we know each other. We got history. Shout out to my girl, Court. I'm Jock from Cool Movie Reviews, and like the title says, man, I do movie reviews, shows. I posted my Black Panther review. And great points, Court. Shout out to you. Once you posted that video, I had to go in there and comment, man. I was like, Court is spitting hot fire right now. Like, it's crazy. But I mean, for me, being a Black man and having a son and a daughter, and my son's only 4, and he was born when the Black Panther movie, like the year it came out. He's 4, and he know, hey, Daddy Black Panther, Daddy Black Panther. That's the representation that we talk about from a perspective of, hey, we need this representation for my son. I've been here, right? I know this. I'm here. I've seen not just on the Marvel side, but on the DC side. There's black superheroes that I can go over there and be like, hey, I can be Green Lantern, I can be this guy, that guy, this guy. But my son, when he sees Black Panther, he's like, oh, Dad, it's Black Panther, Black Panther, Black Panther. And then, funny story, real quick. I was talking to my daughter. She went to go see the movie, and she was like, "Yeah, Black Panther died." Da, da, da. My son, Daddy, Black Panther died. He died. He died. And he takes the action figure and he puts him down. I'm like, look, he's not dead. He's not dead. As long as I say he's not dead, he's not dead. So that's the representation, and that's the important piece of having this brother and the character itself, just to represent for the young youth, man, and the young brothers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what I was coming from my perspective, is that, you do want to see not only yourself in media, but portrayed correctly. And I'm not willing to just see myself, Black folks, on a TV screen or a movie screen and still acting and looking where I don't believe that we should. And nor am I going to support it. And we have this idea that we're not a monolith. But once we get out of that bubble, or once we disagree with something, then I'm supposed to be a monolith. I'm supposed to think like all the Black folks over here, all the liberals over here, all the conservatives. And it's like, no, I'm a thinker and I'm an adult. So that was mine. So I was surprised as far as with the pushback. So let me get your takes on it, on the movie. So let's review the movie real quick. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give it?
5.
A 5. You said average at best. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you give it?
So originally on my original review, I gave it a 7. But going back and thinking about it, I actually knocked it down to 6. I mean, just the thinking about everything, got to just rethinking the movie. I said, man, it don't sit right with me. So I gave it a 6.
6. Okay. So tell me why you gave it a 5. We do struggle reviews. Why did you give it an average? What do you think that it was missing?
Everything.
Okay.
It lacked in everything. Like, I think everybody's just I love how representation gets thrown around so often, but it's not, equally applied to everybody. Like, everything that I loved about the first one was missing in the second one. Like, I wasn't the one who showed up, in my African garb gear to go and see the movie, but I loved it. Like, I am a fan of just old school, like Marvel. Like, I mean, old school. Like, I specialize actually in old school content in my channel with the paywall, because I kind of got tired of speaking on movies that are coming out currently, because I felt like I just was spitting out the same rhetoric of my disappointment and, like this agenda that I felt like was being pushed. And it seems like with every movie, we are trying to, make a point to talk about, the LGBTQIA representation and the women. Like, the women thing is like actually like really strong right now with every single movie. And I felt like this is what that was going to be. And I was hoping that I wasn't right, but I was. But even outside of just the whole thing of the characters, like, I felt like they stripped away everything from the women. We had equal representation in the first movie. I felt like you had different layers of women. You have the strong woman, with the whole Dora Milaje situation. You had the softer genius with Shuri, and then you had the matriarch with Angela Bassett. Like, it was so layered. Everybody contributed and gave something. And then around that, you had all of these strong, like really strong Black men. And there was this really strong message of fatherhood and, what it could do to you in many forms. Like, I love the movie for that. And you get here and you watch this, and that's just completely non-existent. Like, visually, it was non-existent. Like, they didn't even try to pretend and like have men on screen. Like, there were no men. There were no men anywhere, and I was just so surprised. And then, like the Winston Duke, the one male character that we got from the essence that he had in the first movie, it was just gone. It was like, why do we have to diminish our men in movies to uplift women? Like, I think when you say anything or have an opinion, people just assume like, oh, you don't want to see us. You're like, that's not what I said. Like, the whole playback that you had in the beginning of people just speaking their opinion, I'm like, they heard what they wanted to hear. Like, I did not once say that I'm strong black woman myself. Like, but to be strong doesn't mean you have to diminish anybody else. Like, I'm strong all on my own. But if you have anything to say, any type of pushback, oh, you're this, you're that, like they throw around those terms so loosely now. I don't know what the first person was, but like Google is free. Google is like, it is, but did you go to Google yourself? Because you clearly didn't. Like, you didn't listen to anything I had to say. I just didn't like everything that I loved about the first movie. And I love what a cool movie review said at the bottom about, because I have a son. My son is almost 5 and I have a daughter. So I know what that representation means and what's being pushed now. It makes me worry about, and I love you calling back to the Little Mermaid, and I couldn't like jump on the bandwagon of, oh, she looks like me. Like the Disney, they love to like throw us a bone every now and then. Like, I would just much rather us have our own. Like, I just don't like what's being pushed right now. But everything that I liked about the first movie and that strong essence that I felt, not only for Chadwick Boseman in his position in Wakanda as that black male representation, but the women also. Mm-hmm. People are subtracting from, the representation with them just diminishing the female characters in their own way anyway, even though they were there. Like, did you not watch the movie, or were you just so hyped to see all of these women on screen? And then I know you watched my review, so you know how I felt about Shuri and the
We're gonna get into it. I'm gonna ask you, we're gonna get into it. So
but yeah, I'm gonna let cool movie review.
Yeah, cool movie review. Yeah. So why did you give it a 6? And why'd you bring it down? You said a 7, and then you said, no, I had to think about it. So what made you change?
So shout out to E-Man's movie reviews. He started a phenomenon and a phenomenon of hashtag recast T'Challa. And when first time I came around that hashtag, it was a little bit, I think it was last year. And when I got to thinking about it, I said, you know what? I said, it's not bad. Let me think this through. And I was like, you know what? He does need to be recast. And without him in this movie, you can tell Letitia Wright, she tried to hold that lead actress role, and it just didn't work. Another thing, this reason why I knocked it down was because of the killing of Angela Bassett. I mean, that was so unnecessary.
It was.
I mean, she. I mean, and shout out to Ryan Coogler, but he seems to write roles to where that character has to have some type of motivation to achieve get to the next stage. And I'm like, okay, we already experienced Black Panther's death. Now you got to experience her mother as well. Like, that was unnecessary. Now, that article did come out that Angela Bassett did question that particular decision to Ryan Coogler. And Ryan Coogler's rebuttal was, hey, characters come back in this world. That you're not really officially dead. You can come back. And I'm like, that's a piss poor excuse to kill off that particular character. I mean, and shout out to Neymar. I mean, and if his backstory was changed, I know he's originally Atlantean. Mm-hmm. He's changed to I think the Talacan or whatever, representing the Mexicans or whatever. I mean, do your thing, but his motivation was okay. And I'm gonna go to a technical perspective from the review. The VFX was kind of clunky a little bit, just in my opinion. When I was looking, I was like, okay, that could have been better. Riri Richards' costume was okay, but what really did it for me was you killed off the number one character that was holding this movie together, which was Angela Bassett. Mm-hmm. And you decided to make that decision to drown her. And I'm looking at the screen when it's about to happen. I said, they about to kill her. And it's not sitting right with me. And I don't like this. Shout out. I mean, go back to what you said was M'Baku.
Yeah.
They made him look just weak. And I'm sitting back and I'm waiting for him to do something. And I'm like, all right, M'Baku, he's like the comic relief. He's the joke.
He was the joke. Exactly. The biggest man.
Yeah.
was up there kneeing and kicking. And I was like,
yep.
The strongest warrior that we could have had was up there doing stand-up.
Yep. I mean, it was ridiculous. And then another point too that I've noticed, this agenda didn't get pushed prior to Black Panther coming out. So if you followed Marvel, I know you mentioned, Courtney, Black Panther is what got you into Marvel, the MCU, right? But I was following the MCU back when the Hulk came out and Iron Man showed up in the post-credit scene, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be pretty solid. And they start tying everything together. But the Black Panther and us as Black people brought that culture. I mean, it was an event. When I went to, like you said, when I went to the movie theaters, everybody's dressed down in their African garb. Yeah. I mean, head to toe. I mean, it was an event. I'm like, okay, this is kind of crazy. then it grossed $1 billion. So what Disney does is they say, ooh, black people again spending money. Ooh, what can we do? Okay, now in society, black women, what are they trying to do? They're the most consumers of this and that, right? So now, hey, let's target the women. So after that, if you notice, if you pay attention to the MCU, the Asian movie came out. I think Shang-Chi came out. And then, and all of a sudden, it turned into a cultural thing. So I just look at the agenda, and I seen the agenda way back. I said, yeah, this is about to get pretty ugly. And you got to figure out how to exit left and try to figure out, okay, what can I gravitate towards to next? So
right. Yeah. I want to bring up, because you mentioned Riri, and I want to talk about her introduction, but that costume when she came in, I was like, she looked like a Power Ranger from 1998. I said, she came in, go Power Rangers. And I was like, that ain't even, what, I'm going to bring it up. I wasn't convinced. I was not convinced. And in the video that I made, I was like, 100-pound woman, strong arming people. It is a movie, but you got to convince me. And true enough, everyone was like, well, she had the Black Panther suit on, and so she had all these powers, but that doesn't mean first she just knows how to use it, and second, she was fighting a god. And she's the size of a 7-year-old. Like, I just wasn't convinced. And even Riri, I just wasn't convinced that these are the people that are actually saving Wakanda. Was that the
no?
I think they wanted you to suspend everything, like just appreciate the representation on screen, and just know that we wanted to, throw everything out and just know that once she took that purple heart herb, that she could just do whatever. And it just, I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't. I watched it and I had secondhand embarrassment. I felt so uncomfortable for her because I knew she was thrusted into she didn't, I didn't sign up for this, and I'm not, anybody's Marvel comic book nerd. I do know that, her representation as Black Panther is in the comics, but was it this Shuri? Was it, we have to consider the visual
right
perspective of Letitia Wright's frame. She's a very small woman, and nobody's going to take that away from her, but you can't put that in my face. And like I said in my review, the whole arm wrestling with him, but I just fell out. It was so laughable to me. I just couldn't take it serious. But I even felt from the visual standpoint, because I went and looked up Neymar and his body structure, I felt like they kind of diminished his size and his structure, so she wouldn't be going up against some bulky, masculine, large man. So she could. It still didn't work. It still didn't work. It was absolutely laughable to me, and I hated to see her out there like that, because she was who she was supposed to be in the first movie. She very much gives off side character, little sister energy, and they tried to thrust her in this position and make this way for Ironheart to come through. This briefly turned into her movie, and it was everybody but Black Panther, and they tried to usher that in later. But this is just it almost felt like they were throwing Black Panther away. We're done with this right now. We want to pander to a certain I'm y'all so geeked up for the representation. I like representation, but I'm still not going to allow anybody to play in my face. I know what I'm being pandered to, and when this isn't genuine and it's not real, and we're just trying to reach a certain demographic because this is what, is popular right now. But at least make it believable, make the writing good, make the plot good. Outside of what was represented, the movie wasn't good in general. The movie was bad.
Yeah. And Doc, I'm gonna get yours because I know that you have to go, but let me ask
you. I can rock a little longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think the introduction to Riri, was she important to this movie? Should this have been her introduction?
No.
No.
All right, Doc, why?
And I said this in my review that that's Marvel does this all the time. They will introduce some type of character or something just to, and it's piss poor writing. You'll introduce them. You'll say, "Hey, look at this. Look what's coming next." Hey, Marvel, right? Boom. And like you said, it's sitting there for representation. Now, how they could have did it if I was writing this movie or whatever, or something for Riri Richards, have her own show on Disney Plus first for us to get introduced to the character, to get onto the character. She's a techie, right? I'm in tech, man. I love tech. So that's something that would it's an interesting thing. So you get that, you say, okay, we have like 7 or 8 episodes on Disney Plus getting ready for Riri Richards, instead of just throwing her in the movie and saying, hey, here she goes. She goes to MIT. She knows how quantum physics. She can build an Iron Man suit in a day. That don't make sense. Make it make sense. Like, it makes no sense. And she kind of annoyed me because I said, we've seen this character before. We've seen her in Shuri. This was Shuri in Black Panther. It was Shuri. So when I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, this is trash. Like, I've seen this. The jokes, one joke when she called her head Ashley. That was kind of funny. But other than that, I mean, I'm like, making me believe, and I'm sitting in the movie theater like, okay, I can't get with this. So she's supposed to have her Disney Plus series, but I'm not excited about it. It didn't get me ecstatic about it. I mean, hopefully it can, but yeah, she was annoying. I'm sorry.
Very much so annoying. So annoying. Like, it was like we're ushering her in where she, she doesn't fit. And it's just all about the masses and who are all going to see this movie. Like, oh, if they see her here, then when her own special, whatever show comes out, then maybe people will flock and watch it. But they didn't consider, she was so annoying to me. And just like you said, I felt like we were seeing Shuri, they were trying to prop Shuri up as the Black Panther, we're ushering her over. But, you're the genius, you're into tech. So it was like we were looking at 2 of the same people on screen. And it's just to usher her in where she didn't fit. Think about what we lost with the current film with other Black female characters. With her, the Dora Milaje looked absolutely weak. When we get into Dania Guerrero's character and, calling her ashy or just that strong, regal, protection. She was probably, along with Chadwick Boseman, she was one of my favorite things about the first movie. So when we bring her here and we make her look really incompetent, I was like, sis, you had one job. you had one job. And then we take somebody that strong who has such a great position as a Black woman alongside Black men. In the first movie, we strip her of her rank and break her down. And I guess they tried to put a Band-Aid on it and give her this redemption arc. It didn't fit, and I thought that was so weak. And you have her kind of chastised by another Black woman with Angela Bassett, and I was like, wow, I didn't expect for them to go this route if it was really about representation.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think even in this movie, when we talk about M'Baku, and then even with her, it's the regalness that we appreciated in the first one was diminished to slapstick comedy.
Right.
So I was trying to take it more serious as it was in the first one, and it just lost it to me. I think I gave it a 5. I was a solid 5. I gave it an average. I was gonna give it an average. Man, it was just kind of missing things. So let me ask you guys this, because you mentioned something, Jock, that I think is important. And even with Marvel now, you're seeing more women being superheroes. Is it because do they think that women now, we pay for a lot of stuff. A lot of media is always geared towards us because we know that women pay for a whole lot of stuff, a lot of service, movies, books, that comes out of women's pockets. We invest more in those things. Do you think that this is a money push, or do you think this is just inclusion and diversity? Why do you think it's now being a push that we're wanting women everywhere as far as our superheroes?
So it's actually both. I mean, you said it, Courtney. You hit the nail on the head. It's in inclusion, and then the money push of it. It's saying, hey, the women are out here. We're in a world now. It's women empowerment and everything, and do your thing, right? And when a big corporation sees that, they're going to hop on that. And like I said, I went back and I said earlier, if you look at the marketing from the first Black Panther to this Black Panther, the marketing for the first Black Panther was piss poor, right? You're supposed to be marketing to us, but it was because they didn't think the movie was going to do how it was going to do. This marketing, I see Target commercials with the Black girls and Black women, and you're targeting to Black women and little Black girls. That's what you're trying to say. My daughter went to go see the movie and she didn't care about it. She said, "Okay, Daddy, it was okay. It is what it is." I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
that proves my point right there. It's like the masses of women, specifically black women, don't care. They like, okay, this is a movie, cool. We're gonna do what we do. All right, boom. But they take this small percentage of women that are on Twitter or like you showed on TikTok, gagging at their gums. Oh man, you don't know what you're talking about. Black women is. They look at them and they'll spot a spotlight on them and say, "Hey, that's our demographic. They speak for all black women." And what
Mhm.
happens is it's exiting out the black boys and the black men. And what's going to happen? Shout out to DC. If DC can get on board, I've seen some things from DC where they're trying to market to black men and certain black superheroes. So yes, it is a marketing ploy and it is for inclusion. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm a DC fan all day. I
Me
never
too.
mess with Marvel.
Me too.
I just always prefer, not even just, now with what's going on, I always prefer DC because it's just the darker elements that I prefer with my superheroes. I don't like Kitty Boo Boo laughing. Like, it's good for the kids, but I'm a Batman Joker person.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a lot to be said. I see that it's not just ushering in like female. I think for forever everybody has been waiting on Storm or different characters to have their moment, but we're not giving a lot of the female characters their moment or ushering them in to give them their own show or movie. We are making it a point to like, okay, well, no, this is the female version of Iron Man. This is the She-Hulk. This is, and I'm not saying that these people didn't exist in the comics, but I think it's a lot to be said because it's not just like we're ushering them in. It's like we're replacing what you know. It's like the men have had their time. I would love to see like, why do we have to piggyback off of an established superhero that had it, and it's like they're setting the women up for failure because with you ushering in these characters, like you're just gonna look at someone like an Ironheart and think of like, oh, this is a piss poor version of what Iron Man was, or like She-Hulk. There's always gonna be the comparison instead of just giving these women or inventing new superheroes. Like the comics, all the wide range of female characters that we have never seen. A lot of us, I don't read comic books. Like you said, like that's just not. This is my window into those things, but just why do we have to just, it's like they're replacing and we're putting these things out there. And then I'm like, if we're going to do this and you guys are going to have your agenda, because I'll review movies like all day, every day. Like, it's not even good. That's what's killing me. Like, it's not even good, but it's like you're not even allowed to criticize it. As soon as you're anti-feminist, like you're Masal, like they throw out all of these little triggering words. And like I have heard, like under my video, I saw something and somebody was like, "Oh, she's so mad." I was like, "I'm not." You so mad, sis. You're so mad. Like, get over it. Like, it's our time. I'm like, sis, I'm a sis. I'm a woman. Who said that I didn't want, us to have our time? We should, but for us to have our time doesn't mean we have to diminish and replace. That's something totally different.
Absolutely. And I completely agree. I think you can, interject if you want a woman superhero. You definitely can, but that doesn't mean that means that men are gone. And so that's been my biggest issue. So let me ask you, when the movie first started, of course, we saw the tribute to Chadwick Boseman. And you saw it again towards in the middle of the movie. And then, they had a wall with his face on it. Do you think that tribute did Chadwick Boseman his justice?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Now, beforehand, like, I was caught up in the moment because, like, well, the movie's just starting. Like, they hit you in the face with it as soon as it comes on. By the time I watched it from the beginning to the end, I was like, wow, I felt like there could have been more. I was waiting on them to include him a little bit more and kind of get into what was going on. But not only do we jump, a year later, but them tying in his actual illness and how he lost, the way he went out in real life into the script, it bothered me so much. I was like, why are we displaying, the illness and, it was in secret. He didn't want any help. I was like, this is, it made me uncomfortable because of just the way he decided to, go. to put that here, and it just gave me an uneasy feeling and kind of felt like exploitation. The way that they pushed, they placed it at the end of the movie and they placed it at the beginning. He was like nowhere in between. I thought that we would get a little bit of drama in the movie. I thought we would see, you know, grieving, or see, you know, lift Shuri up in that way, because I think we all pretty much knew going in that she was going to be, or, you know, a female was going to be the Black Panther, but I wanted to see that. We just glossed over all of that. So it was kind of like respect, and I like loved the way that the characters, you could see that they really felt something in that moment. The ceremony was beautiful, but then I was like, that's it? Like, this was really quick. And I think people are like, oh, you're never going to be satisfied, like y'all want this whole movie to be depressed, and us. I was like, no, I don't want that. I absolutely didn't want that, but I did think that we would feel his essence and his presence in the movie throughout, you know, multiple times, and really get into the family and what it really means to lose somebody like that. But it's like they just gave us more loss.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed. Like, we had to get more loss just to get Shuri to where she needed to be. But I was very uncomfortable, even though it was beautiful, with them using his real life illness and tying it in. And I read something where they were like, oh, that's not what that is. Like, I was like, how? Because that's exactly how he decided. He, you know, kept it a secret from everybody. Yeah. And I thought that was really sad, and I thought it was in poor taste.
Yeah, got you. What do you think, Jock?
Shout out to you, Struggle TV, because you're right. It was very rushed and tacky, right? And I agree 100%, because when I'm looking at it, it's somebody that's been through that type of stuff with family members, right? Dying of cancer. And I'm like, okay, I ain't digging this, right? Now, you should have wrote it in a way where it made sense. Now, if he's going to take the heart-shaped herb, and I'm thinking that the heart-shaped herb is supposed to protect him from a virus. I think they said, yeah, everything. I'm like, okay, that didn't make sense how you wrote that. I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to put us in a situation where, hey, this is how he quote unquote dies, right? But it was tacky and it was rushed. And like you said, throughout the movie, I started to get to the point where I was like, okay, I don't care anymore. Just give me a good story, right? But I think they should have did it to where two things. You should have made a documentary about his life, right? Because Chadwick Boseman wasn't just Black Panther. To me, Chadwick Boseman, one of his best roles that he ever did. Now, he's done a lot, but it was playing James Brown, right? He killed the James Brown role. I mean, if y'all haven't seen the movie, you need to go check it out, man. I thought I was looking at James Brown. I would have preferred a documentary just to see throughout his life, like his family members, talk to different people that was around him. You can bring in Ryan Coogler in the cast of Black Panther to talk about him and celebrate him in that way. Another thing, too, this movie was rushed. Pandemic happened, right? Chadwick died. This movie should have been delayed. And I know that Kevin Feige and them gave them the option to say, hey, y'all can make the movie or y'all can hold off on it. They decided to go forward with it. But you turned this into a tribute to Chadwick. I get it. But at the same time, I came to see an entertaining movie, right? I want to separate the two when I'm doing this and when I'm looking at this. So I think they should have did it in that way and just waited at least 2 years. I'll give Ryan Coogler this. He captures grief very well. There's stages to how he did it. It was amazing. So, but other than that, they rushed it.
Yeah, I feel that way too. And for me, even in the movie, the 2-hour and 41-minute movie long, I felt like I was in a grief mode than more action. Yeah. I feel like I was going through emotions like it was a Lifetime movie. So even with that, and then with the story of included Neymar in, and about the birth and his mama and turn into a mutant and how that elongated, and I'm feeling sad, and the colonizers. And I was like, man, this is really emotional movie. And it wasn't necessarily action packed to me. I felt like, again, it was like a Lifetime movie. So I'm thinking, again, this is how you get women over to Marvel and you champion women, that you have to have that idea of, let's take the men out, let's take a lot of the action scenes out, and let's start touching you at the heart and the core and make you feel a certain type of way. Was I the only one that thought that? Because no. I was like, we went through the in vitro story and how he grew up in the fetus. And I said, and then he grew legs. And I was like, well, I don't know if I need to know all this. No. Right. Now, what does that have to do with the action movie? With Marvel.
No, this wasn't action. This was a drama. It was very much. It was a lot of. It was a lot of talking. Like I was like, wow, we are talking and giving exposition a whole lot. Like nothing. It got boring. And the last thing I expected to go into a Black Panther movie, regardless of who was in the Black Panther role, was boring. Like it was so boring, and it just seemed like. I just knew like with the runtime that they had that we would maybe spend, that first 30, 45 minutes, maybe going into that hour mark, just, with respect and grief and really them readjusting because that's such a loss to the franchise and just to the family, the art. Like we have to figure out what we're going to do. Cause as she said, like everybody surrounding us, they feel like Wakanda has lost, their protection. They feel like we're out and they can come for us. I was, but it was like, nothing was happening. Nothing was happening. And it's just like, it just felt like, you know what, you had your time, you had your movie, Black Panther is done. We're trying to usher in the more of that character. Like there was no reason for us to learn as much about him as we did in this movie. Like it turned into his movie. Like we're trying to, I'm like, is he going to get his own little movie, little spinoff? Or, we already know that Ironheart, but it was like, this is their time. We want you to care about these characters. Like forget everything you saw and you loved about the first movie because this isn't about them.
Yep. And I'm going to say another thing too, before you move to your next point, Courtney. Like Struggle TV Reviews just said, Struggle Review said, I seen more of Talokan than I seen of Wakanda. I've seen the same places. We've been to the same places from, Wakanda. I think, 4 movies. This is called Wakanda Forever, right? I was hoping we were going to get in detail of how the city looks, how it works, how it functions, the technology part of it, everything like that. But we seen Talokan. We taking a tour through Talokan. I'm like, what is this? I didn't want to come through Talokan. I want to see Wakanda, but
no, seeing Talokan, like, no, we made Wakanda look like the weakest thing walking. I was like, wow.
Explain on that, because you did say that in your movie review, which I have to agree. Wakanda was the most accessible country that was supposed to be the most protected, but anybody could walk up through there just swimming up the shore. Oh, this air is this a nice air. Oh, this is nice. And I said it was just super accessible, which before it was completely protected. So, when you said that, it resonated to me because it did seem like it was weak, and then hell, it got washed out.
Yeah.
Yep, it showed it.
I'm like, well, we're kind of gone.
No, that's what I'm saying. This was Namor and their movie because it was just like this is his vehicle. So I've never seen anybody be able to roll up and let you know when I'm gonna hit you, how I'm gonna hit you, what time I'm gonna show up, and when I'm gonna be there, and then y'all still defenseless. It was like they were sitting ducks for a minute. Once he got past, it was like, oh, you got past the barrier. Oh, we don't know what to do at this point. And I was thinking when that happened, that would be the portion in the film when the action would pick up and we would see all of these women come into action and step up and show, like, you know what, even though there is, literally 3 men walking in Wakanda, we're gonna handle it. Like we're gonna show you why we are in this position and why we don't need the men because this is our movie. I was like, well, damn, if this is what we're doing, like get all the men back. Like get all the men back. If we have to lose the queen, we get, Wakanda gets flooded out. Like you can't tell me some lives weren't lost. Like they just seem so unguarded, and I just wasn't expecting that. I thought first I was disappointed that we didn't explore Wakanda more often. Like I was like with it when they used the little drums and the I was like, okay, that's unique. I'm hoping that we get beyond the kingdom and we see more things, what's in store, what makes Wakanda special outside of the kingdom and the vibranium. I just wanted to see more of the culture, more of the people. Like we got it briefly, I think, in the first one when we had Nakia and Chadwick's character T'Challa walk through, that was nice, but it's just visually to look at. Like I want to get more into depth, but not only do we do that, but we literally wash it away. They were like, we're done. This is it. Like F Wakanda.
Right. And I'm gonna say this too. With that, it did happen in the comics. So in the comics, I keep seeing everybody saying, well, Shuri's Black Panther in the comics. Yes, she was, but she didn't have the mantle long, right? And I know we go from the old comics to the newer comics that just came in. I don't read the newer comics, but I've read some of the older comics. And Neymar in the comic book, him and Black Panther do not like each other. It's on sight when they see each other. And he did flood Wakanda in the comic books, but the way it was positioned in the movies, it like you said, it didn't make sense. And in that role, if we would have had Black Panther, imagine Black Panther and I think Neymar fighting. That would have been a hell of a fight. That fight would have been amazing. I mean, it would have been something just to marvel at. But see, sure.
We can't even do the comics because even when you mention that, and I'm not a comic book reader, but a lot of people say, you know, oh, just throw that to the left. Like Marvel is very infamous for not going, you know, about what like they do whatever they want to. You have the liberties to make choices where you want to. So even if he flooded, you know, we could have still, everybody was just sitting, we had to, you know, be sitting ducks to, you know, let him flood. Like they make all of these creative decisions any other time and adjust things for their liking. They could have did that here also.
Yeah. Great. I'm going to go over some of my super chats, and some of them are questions that we could probably answer. So some, look at you glowing up. Yellowfish fans love you. Oh, shout out to Yellowfish. I just subscribed. What a huge platform. Glad you speaking on this. Praying for you. Hallelujah. Thank you. We on Lock Nation. Thank you so much for the super chat. You are comparing apples to oranges. Still love your channel. Apples to oranges. Okay. I guess Chadwick would have wholeheartedly approved.
No.
Let's talk about that. I'm gonna go over that. Let me read the rest, but I want to go back because I want us to answer that. What's up, Courtney? Graduated. Oh, I hear it. Hold on. Okay. And headed to Ranger School. Keep up the good work. Thank you so very much. You killed off the main character. You could have replaced Chadwick Boseman. All male roles seem like subordinates to women they made T'Challa baby daddy. I want to go back and talk about that and ruin Neymar. They ruined this movie. We gotta talk about that because
let's talk about it.
They did. Let me go through the rest of these. They somehow went to war and didn't bring the sonic guns, like they literally have superior weapons and just didn't bring them. There is no Black community, too much division, finger pointing, and foolishness on the male and female side. We are finished as a people. Black men and Black women help to destroy us, and we need both to repair it, period. Okay.
All right.
Well, tell me how you feel. All right. E Black, what is going on, my guy? Y'all do realize the movie is based on the comic. The movie stayed true to the storyline. It definitely did not. I'm not sure the issue. Let's see. We got, thank you, Darcy Nova. Killmonger got deleted with a sphere. Shuri.
Facts, no paper. Facts, no paper. I mean, make it make sense.
Make it make sense. None of this is usually don't. Free Wi-Fi. What is going on? Thank you for the super chat. She survived a spear through the belly. Her first fight, she beat a god. Black girl magic. Yeah, when that went through the spear in her belly, I was like,
yeah. I thought she was done, and then she got
I
up.
thought she was done too.
But it defeats the purpose of the heart-shaped herb, and Black Panther died. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Struggle Reviews at. I hope you pop back up. But I want
There we go. Can you guys hear me?
I can't hear you, and it's an echo.
It's an echo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Something happened and it blinked, and then my mic muted for some reason.
Do you want to go out?
Yeah, I'll go out and come back in.
Okay. I will remove her. So, what is your opinion now when she comes back up? Chadwick would have wholeheartedly approved.
So I sent you an article, and his brother, his blood brother, did say that Chadwick wanted to have this character recast. If you that clip that you played with him choking up and crying, and I think he kind of knew he had cancer then, and I think he kind of knew that he wasn't gonna make it. And when I got from that particular clip is saying, hey, no matter what happens to me, this character has to continue. This character has to keep moving on. I don't care, right? It's
Yeah.
not about me as the actor. It's about the character. It's about the representation. It's about the kids. At the end of the day, it's about the youth. It's the kids, right? The kids are going to see this. Of course, we're adults. We're going to Wakanda forever and all that. But when I got a son that sees that, he's like, man, I can actually see representation. This is pretty tight. This is dope, right? So when I see this, I'm like, honestly, I think Chad would want to have recasted that character. The character means more to him than I think anything, and he knew that when he showed up in Civil War. When he showed up in Civil War, he killed the game, and you kind of seen it from there. He was like, "Oh yeah, we here." So yeah, man, Chadwick would want to have recasted.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your opinion? You go ahead, and you're back.
I'm not sure what was said, but there is actually, I can't remember the video or when he said it, but he did say, if anything, I don't know if this was in the midst of him maybe knowing what was going on with him health-wise. I don't know, but he said, if anything was to happen, something, I'm paraphrasing, but I would want the character to continue on. I would want it to be recasted. And like, if he said that out of his own mouth, I doubt that he meant it in this particular way. Like that whole tour he went on promoted, because like you said, like they didn't think this movie was going to perform. Like he was so big and so dedicated to this movie. This movie went beyond just me playing a role. It's like he wholeheartedly like felt so passionate about it and what it meant to everybody else. It wasn't just a paycheck. So I doubt that he would have just saw this and was like, well, yeah, I wanted to be a baby daddy. And I wanted to, you mean to tell me like this is what he would have wanted? I absolutely doubt that. I doubt that. I wanted, the matriarch to be killed off, kill me and then kill my mother. We already lost a dad in the first one. Just leave Shuri alone. Like, what?
Don't touch it. And make me a baby daddy and make sure that my child is not raised with his family. Take him off to Haiti when he's around nobody that he loves, no resources, and he don't know anybody. Yeah,
with
that makes a lot of
with
sense.
a single mother, like Killmonger
Right.
was raised.
Right.
I would love that.
For him to get upset about being ostracized by his family to become Killmonger again.
Right.
But it's funny that because I come with receipts. So let's hear. His name was Derek Boseman, which was Chadwick Boseman's brother. And this was specifically what he said a year ago. And again, what's funny, because Jock, you sent this to me and I researched the video. And again, saying the exact same thing that I said, hell, that all of us are saying. So we not the crazy ones, guys. Just FYI. So let's see what he got to say.
And as well, what would he want Black Panther 2 to be like?
I can't answer that.
What would you want it to be like? I can't come here and ask a Black Panther question. No, I'm joking there. No, I get it.
I mean, I would want him to be in it. I would want him to continue
Obviously,
to be
yeah.
King T'Challa. Now, I can answer what you aren't asking me.
Okay, what's that question?
I see a narrative being assembled by Hollywood. And I could be completely wrong, but a black man being a king does not fit the narrative of
not at all
what they want the world to see. A black man being a victim, black man being killed in the streets, but a black man being a king is not the narrative that they want the world to see, and I don't think they liked the response that came back from a black man being a king. And though I believe that black women are queens anyway, I think that the narrative that we will see is that the Black Panther will be a female next.
You think so?
I believe so. I believe it'll be her little sister or his little sister. That's what I think. But a black man being a king does not fit what the powers that be want.
That's very interesting. It's said that the more that we do.
Was this not prophetic? So his brother saying that it is agenda, and that he knew a year ago, of course, that it was going to be played by the little sister and a woman, and it's still the agenda. So he even knew that. So to say that Chadwick Boseman would have championed this, I disagree. Now, knowing that his brother said that, however, the movie is completely different, but again, he knew what was going to happen. Does that diminish a little bit of Chadwick Boseman's legacy, knowing that his own brother knew that he didn't want that, but yet we do it anyway? Does it diminish his legacy?
I don't want to speak too soon, because it was like they tried to give this false hope with the ending in the junior. Like, it's not over. There's still a chance, but it's just like the direction that you went in this movie and the liberties that you took, it feels like it was over. And any legacy you thought of, what Chadwick meant to, Black Panther, or just what Black Panther meant to everybody in general, especially little Black boys, it just feels like it's over.
Yeah, what you got to say, Jock?
No, she's correct. No, you're right. I when Black Panther came out, and like his brother said, his brother couldn't said it no better, right? They're not gonna let us have the mantle long. They're not gonna let us. And now, if we out here making hood movies, acting a fool, doing some silly stuff, then yeah, they all for that, right? Slave movies, right? I ain't got no issue with slave movies, but we've seen 1,001 slave movies. They like that, right? So Black man bringing in $1 billion, right? Because it was really Black Panther that brought that movie and made $1 billion. They weren't anticipating that. So they're like, hey, we already got a plan for you, bro. And I think I don't know if it was a rumor, but I think I read something where they were going to do this anyway, regardless if Chadwick was going to pass away anyway. They were going to do it. No matter what, this was going to happen regardless. And there was pushback with that. With Chad, he was like, no, we're not going to do this. So yeah, it can. They're trying to bury it to the point where, okay, hey, Chadwick, you had your time. We had your funeral in the movie. You did your thing. Let's move you over here now. Hey, everybody, here's his sister. Take a look at her. So yeah,
that's that throwing that bone. They threw that bone with the movie. They're like, this is just, let's give them something. This isn't going to perform. They're not going to, come out of the floodgates to come and support. Like, not only like it exploded way beyond. It's just like, oh, this is a thing now. Like, we got to make a second one. I wouldn't be surprised if this was, the agenda all along. Well, let me not say agenda, child. But if this was, the mission all along, oh, let's just diminish what everybody just flocked to see. We don't need this representation out there. Like, I can remember, even because, like you said, the first, like, are you gonna show your age? Like, I love, like, when the first, like, Blade came out, like, that was so epic to me. Like, Blade and Spawn, that Black representation, those men just in the superhero realm, period. That was all we had for a minute. And I thought that was like, I am like in fear of what they are doing with the Blade that's going to come out. I even love somebody speaking out against, like, in production, it's just like the script isn't right, the writing isn't right. Like, somebody's taking over and taking the reins to go, like, we're not putting this out, whatever it is. I'm glad they threw it away. But like, that was like so important to me. I don't think it was just a mistake that Blade just happened to be, one of my favorite. Like, it's all about representation. We don't get much. Like, I love, like, it's just throwing out, like, this representation. Like, okay, if we are trying to do this for Black women, it's awesome. But what other Black male representation do we have?
Yeah.
It's non-existent to me. So just to kind of throw everything out in the name of pandering, and it's the women's time. Like, when did the like, as far as males, like white males, all, like they of course they that's the superhero staple. And when you see Spider-Man, Hulk, whoever, they're gonna be white. But we haven't had ours, and we had them, and it's like it's over. And it was like damn, we just got started. We just got started. We just
had one. That one.
We just got it. It's just like you snatch it back, and I'm just really in fear of, like, well, if this is going to continue and the lineage is there, and he does have a son, what are you guys going to do with him? Like, how is that going to go? Like, I worry because I'm sure that was opening the gates for maybe a third installment, but I feel like it's over, and we had it, and it's gone now.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, and this is why. So I know somebody mentioned Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I know they make the Falcon black or whatever.
Yeah.
Shout out to him, but how long does that last, right? We know that's not going to last pretty long. And even with the son, the quote unquote son, I think they're going to shelf him and put him on the shelf until they can figure it out. I know there was a thing going on Twitter. The recast hashtag was trending right after that movie came out. I don't know if y'all paid attention to that. But people were asking, well, who do you recast him with? Man, I seen Black Adam, so I got to see Black Adam early.
Mhm.
And Eldridge Hodge, I think it's his brother's name.
Yes.
If you've seen the movie and Struggle Team reviews, I don't know if you did you see the movie?
Yes.
Okay, the brother, there's a scene in the movie where his presence was almost like Chadwick Boseman, where he was regal. He had that stance. I mean, the gold. I mean, it was amazing. I said, and I'm looking at this movie the whole time, and I said, he reminds me of somebody. And then I came home and I was doing my review. I said, damn, Black Panther. I said, that's a perfect casting for Black Panther. There you go. What DC's about to do, and I keep saying this, James Gunn is taking over the mantle. He tweeted something to Mr. Terrific. Now, like I said, I'm real big in the comic book space and everything. Mr. Terrific's a black superhero. Black Lightning. Y'all remember Black Lightning?
Yeah.
Black Lightning was dope, right? The representation from a brother in a black family that you actually get to see that we don't see that much is a black family. John Stewart, the Green Lantern, they're trying to find. I know Tyrese was trying to push for that casting. He was like, man, I want to be John Stewart. DC has an opportunity to say, you know what they doing up? Brother Voodoo. I see you, Keith D. Brother Voodoo is another one. There is plenty of black superheroes, but Marvel is the gold standard. Marvel is the portion of everything. So if it's in Marvel, it's the way to go. If it's not in Marvel, it's in DC. They already trashed DC, right? Yeah. It's not the way to go. So that's my perspective on it.
Yeah, let me get to some of these and we can probably answer some. All right, thank you, Alex. Minor Shuri got a spear to the stomach. Killmonger took it to the chest. Y'all are all tripping. I'm a comic and a MCU fan and love the movie.
Hey, shout out to you.
Glad
shout out to you.
Yeah, I think people just feel like if we dislike it. Like I'm glad that you had a good time. Right. I didn't have the same experience as you.
Yeah, and it's okay.
It is okay.
It's okay. Anybody going to speak about the white racist elephant in the room? No, we're not. This isn't. Some people. Thank you for the super chat. I don't know. Every real Black Panther fan knew they were going to make Shuri Black Panther when he died, and they said they wouldn't recast. Shuri has been Black Panther in the comics before.
Yeah,
I think we've already kind of touched on that. That's fine. Okay, y'all crazy. T'Challa in the comic was raised by Shuri mom, T'Challa's stepmom. His dad died when he was like 9. T'Challa Jr. will have T'Challa's true story. What do you guys think about that? So towards the end, we got introduced that he was a baby daddy and got a son.
I just love how we get to pick and choose when we want to stay true to the comics and when we don't. Like when it's beneficial and when we want to project a certain narrative, it was in the comics. And it's like, okay, yeah, whatever. Y'all can have that.
I mean, that's what people do. Again, if it doesn't fit their narrative of what they think, then they're going to use whatever they can to against you. So yeah, some things were in the comic book, but some things weren't. And this movie was not true to the comic. And there's different versions. Yep. So what version of the comic are you talking about?
Yeah.
So anyway, so what do you guys think about T'Challa Jr.?
I mean,
what do you want to look forward to this? So we lost T'Challa. This part 2 was Woman King on acid. So it's obviously going to be a part 3. And now we are introduced to the prince.
Write the writing. I mean, if you can write it where it makes sense, I can get on board with it. It has to make sense. Don't go in there and write and just piss poor material. If you can write it to where it makes sense, I don't know how old he is at the end of the movie, but that's a big time.
Okay. Yeah, he was like.
So that means we gotta wait about 4, 5, 6 years maybe until we get another Black Panther 3. Do we even know when another Black Panther 3 is coming? I think we'll find out once we figure out how it does in the box office. But yeah, we will wait on. We can wait, but will we really care when it comes to 2020, 2030 when they come out with the next Black Panther 3? I mean, do I really care? Not really. I mean, you got the multiverse coming up, but I mean, it didn't really do nothing for me at the end of the movie. I hated that, but it didn't do nothing for me, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's a reason why they placed it where they placed it.
Mhm.
I'm all for it. Like if it was in the comics and this opens the window for, it to continue on even without them recasting or, what everybody like bring back Killmonger, because I was Killmonger all day, but that's a different, review. But I was like, if we are going to bring that into the forefront, why do we have to make it that way? The characters that we met in the first movie, there is no way that it would have been like, even like the fact that she was, it just says a lot about Lupita Nyong'o's character, that like this entire movie you would sit on that with everything that occurred, all the loss, that disrespect that was, felt like you didn't even show up to his, she's dead. The queen died thinking that this was it. Like, think about just how uplifting that would have been in the movie, for even if we would have got, that beginning ceremony, if she just would have showed up and she had the son, it would have been like, oh my God, there's hope.
Mhm.
Even if, he didn't play just, a big position and y'all still wanted to do the Ironheart, and just for that to be there, just to know that it would have been embraced and just brought so much inspiration to just the movie. Like, I think it would have been so great if y'all would have presented him in a certain way, it could have worked. But we presented at the tail end of the movie, and then you have it like he decided to cast them off. Like, well, no, he made this decision. We talked and we felt like it was best for him to be raised, without the pressures, and for him to be here with me alone. And it's just like, with how old he is, so exactly where was T'Challa this entire time? Like, was he present in his life? How you've been here in Haiti, just
Right.
like it was just crazy. It was like we had to, just do that. Like, you could have presented him so many other ways in this movie for it to work, and still like, well, he had a son in the comics. Okay, great. Let's write it in to where it's beneficial to the entire story. And it would have been great just for, once again, those Black boys, just in general, like, I see, I see me. Oh, it's the mermaid. She looks just like me. We could have had that same moment. We could have had that same moment with those little boys. Like, oh my God, like we, this is a young boy. This is
could have had him. Could have been him.
This is a young boy who, even though he's lost his father, and we have these strong women here, we know that T'Challa will continue on through his son, whether he's here or not. We've had the ceremony, and now we have this young man here, this young, beautiful Black boy. We like throw him like it was an afterthought. Like, here you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop.
Doc, did you want to add to that? Because I agree. I think he entered a hole in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He could have had a role in the movie.
He could have. He could have. And something that was kind of mind-boggling is when the queen went to go visit. When she go visit. What's her name?
Nakia.
Nakia. Yeah, when she went to go visit Nakia, and I think when I seen it, I said that was the same boy that was in the end credit scene. So if you look at it, he went and walked up and said, "Hey, how you doing? She's over here."
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I'm now. Shut up.
Yes. So the queen didn't say, "Hey, how you doing? How you doing, grandson?"
Hold on. She supposedly met him before, right?
Exactly.
But she didn't even know her own grandson.
Exactly. And the thing is, you guys remember when her and Shuri were by the lake, and she was like, "Hey, Shuri, I got to tell you something." And she was about to tell Shuri about her nephew, basically. But even in that interaction, it could have been something where she could have did a smile, or she could have had some type of facial expression like, okay, something is special about this little boy. We don't know, but that's great. That's what you call great writing, right? I can make a character write something where it just shows some type of expression to this particular character and be like, okay, something special about him. And like you said, struggle reviews, it would have gave us hope. It would have been like, okay, we got hope. Something's here. We can be like, all right, we wait until the end credit scene would have had some weight to it. I felt like they just threw it in there. Like they heard the kind of the rumblings on Twitter. They said, okay, let's give them what they want. Here, nigga, damn, there you go.
Yeah, I do feel like it was rushed. So Peanut the Great, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man have all had different people play the role, but they couldn't do that for Black Panther.
I agree. I agree.
Let's see what we got. Free Wi-Fi again. DC scrap a whole finished movie. Zero woke over there.
Yep.
There we go. And then T'Challa, I guess TJ Jr. will be the real T'Challa comic book accurate. Ryan already said he couldn't tell the story correct because of Civil War. Let them do their job.
No.
No. No. I don't know why people think that because someone want to give us some shit that we don't like, we supposed to just take it and wait on it. No.
I don't like
what
that
we
they
do over
put
here.
the soul. I don't like that people, and I don't want to call anybody naive. Just to go, Ryan Coogler, that's a brother. Like, he has to answer to other people.
Yep.
It's not just, his soul. This is what I want to see. Because I think if it was just solely up to him and the cast, we maybe would have got something different. Like, there's a machine behind him and a machine behind that person. Like, and most of those machines, they don't care. So I don't like it's not just his sole decision to go, this is what I want to see on screen and this is what I want presented to the people. He has to answer to other people.
And to add to that point, Ryan Coogler actually might end up producing and directing other Marvel movies that can take him away from the Black Panther altogether, right? The Avengers 5, I think it's either Avengers 5 or Secret Wars he's supposed to be helping produce with that movie. So that's a whole nother stratosphere of movie that he gets to do. So yeah, he'll eventually get to it, but his photography is about to be amazing soon. So, I mean, it's crazy, man.
Yeah. This is the movie review that you said.
E-Man.
Thank you so much for joining us. Hey there, just heard TikTok was giving you a hard time. Just wanted to drop some support. Do your thing. Thank you, E-Man. They were hating on you, girl.
Hey, shout out to E-Man. E-Man, shout out to you, bro. The hashtag recast the T'Challa man was amazing.
Heavy.
It was heavy.
E-Man been dedicated.
E-Man been dedicated. Let's see. AKs and curtains. Okay, then. Let's shout out to the AKs and curtains. That's what up. All right. T'Challa that loved and respected his father, the throne, and the Black Panther protector said, I'm good. Absentee father here. I clone and I don't care about my legacy. That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. They made him into an absentee father again. So we got a whole gang of women that are 5'5", 95 pounds, protected the country. To hell with the men. They back there doing a comic relief. and then T'Challa's out there being a deadbeat. Man, how far did we get away from the first one?
Extra far.
Extra far. What is going on? Onyx 51. I wasn't ready to explain two girls kissing and childbirth to a 7-year-old daughter. 6 out of 10 movies. So disappointed. Do you think that was necessary in the movie?
Oh, they threw that in there. I was shocked. I didn't expect that. Like, I don't mind. Like, hey, I am like way beyond just expecting movies to be movies, and I don't care. Like, there's a quota to meet with these movies. We have to have strong, female representation, and we have to have some type of LGBTQIA plus representation. Also, like it's all about being inclusive and representation. So I know it's going to be there. Like, I'm beyond just expecting movies to just be movies. Like it's there. But did it mean anything? No, it was just like we got to make sure we put that representation. Let's put it somewhere and put it on, one of these characters. Let's put that there.
Yeah.
It's a checkbox. That's what it is. And I believe those two characters in the comics did have a relationship. So that, once again, they pick and choose when they want to stay true to the comics. And it was one of those checkbox types. Okay, we got this, we got that, we got this, we got that. So when I seen it, I'm like you, Struggle Reviews. It's so used movies today. And shout out to you for reviewing older movies. And I'm a real component about just older movies and from the 90s, from the 80s. These new movies, they just got too much agenda just based into it and too much of a checkbox instead of me sitting there trying to enjoy the actual movie. So it didn't surprise me.
I didn't even mind that. The fact that y'all couldn't make it a full make her a real person. Right, she wasn't even a realized person. Seeing her and the character is Michaela Cole. She is so great. She is so great with what she's put out as far as being a producer, a writer. I was really great. happy and really happy to see her get this opportunity here so she can be, seen by the masses. They literally like, we're going to make sure we put that there, but we couldn't flesh her out to give her more than 2 lines in the movie.
Yeah, I don't, going back to the first one, I thought with Black Panther and Nakia, their sweet little love affair, I thought was adorable, and I thought it was cute, and again, child appropriate.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And now we flip, and I said, well, first, I guess there was no man to fall in love with, because I ain't seen there none. so of course, I guess the women are gonna be with the women because there was no man. You know what's funny? I was going back to the old comics, and when you saw the Dora Milaje and how they were in the comics, they were feminine. They had heels on. They had hair. Can you bring it up?
Yeah, let me. So I got this comic book, and this is actually one of the first issues of Black Panther. He appeared in Fantastic Four. So if I can find it, man, I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
In the comic books, if I can find it. But no, you're right. You're right.
When I looked, they were like Foxy Cleo Brown. They could come up those thick leg with the high heels and kicking. And I said, that's what I'm talking about. Because it still was the essence of I'm still a woman, but I will whoop your ass. Like, okay, I got it. But they're doing it because that's what their king wanted them to do. So I could get along with that. But now it was, I got the Boosie fade, and I'm gone.
So I was done when she was called. I was done when she was called Ashy for that brief second. I was like, why would we even put that there? The jabs there were a couple of jabs in this one at her appearance, and I just didn't understand why. Like, why is this even here?
They did. It was a couple of jabs towards her appearance. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's interesting. Let me see what Dane C got to say. Remember, they wanted Ava DuVernay to direct Black Panther, so the female agenda was there in the beginning. She refused. Ryan was the afterthought. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, what's up, Dap D.H. Harris? Marvel was bought by Disney, woke university. You know what's funny, and I'm going to bring this because, again, it goes back to the agenda. So, I've done shows about the reporter on ESPN and how she, feminism 101 is all up and through. What's her name? Malika Andrews. Yeah. Malika Andrews, correct. And again, ESPN is bought out by who? Disney. So again, Disney, the whole conglomerate is definitely I am woman, hear me war, and we're going to infiltrate all male spaces. So you see that in sports, and now you see it in comics. So again, you can't tell me there ain't no damn agenda.
Oh, I love that you said that. Like, anytime, that is my go-to when I see an agenda being pushed in my movie reviews. I call them the I am woman, hear me war movie.
Yes. So it is, and it's a Disney thing. Again, when my daughter's watching Disney, I have to cover our eyes sometimes because I'm not you. So and it's about time. Everybody don't want to see it. And there are some women, again, that do believe that men have a space and need a space. And ESPN has always been a male-dominated space. And now you have Malika Andrews on there talking about, delete abortions. I'm going to go ahead and say it on a sports network. What the hell they got to do with the Lakers? But anyways, let me go on. What up, Clue Channel? A Hollywood ritual is going on. Checkbox supremacy. The story would take a major back seat. Okay, interesting. Brian, T'Challa is too important to secret wars. He cannot be a young man by the time he is experienced king and warrior. Okay, what's going on? Our Jermaine man bump Ryan Coogler. He done made the Black Panther a baby daddy.
Facts. Facts. He did.
Wow. They should have recasted T'Challa with John David Washington. Side note, Shuri is going to get laid out on Challenge Day.
Oh, we could have a challenge in this one. That wasn't happening.
No.
It's the real MCU, Courtney. You keep it up. I appreciate it. So, you guys, I don't want to keep you long, but I do want to ask, Disney Woktivist killed the Star Wars brand too.
They did.
Yeah, man. Okay, so we gave it a 5. We gave it a 6, right? what could have been done that you would have liked to see in the movie that probably would have brought it up to a 6, 7, 8?
Keep the
What would
queen
you have
alive.
liked to
Keep the queen alive.
keep the queen alive? Okay.
Keep the queen alive. Have the Dora Milaje not look incompetent and unable to protect. They could have kept y'all wanted these things here. Y'all could have kept them, and it still could have been a great film, or it could have been better. I'm not gonna. So I'm putting a lot on great. It could have been better. Have the son, the lineage presented way earlier into the film. Have the writing be better, and not spend about 2 hours of the runtime just strictly on Ironheart and Namor and us going through the kingdom and learning everything about him. Like it could have been a whole lot better.
Okay. What you think, Jock?
So for me, of course, hashtag recast T'Challa. So I think they should have waited and made this movie at least give it about 2 or 3 years, right, for the grieving period to get on and everybody can get on to the point where they need to move on. And it's out of your mind, right? And once you would have recast T'Challa, how you could have did it in this movie, yeah, the movie jumped right into she's trying to save him. She could have saved him. We could have seen some type of stand-in something on a table in a coma or something. You could put Black Panther in a coma. Shuri still could have took over the mantle, right? You can balance it out.
Mm-hmm.
You have M'Baku, hey, instead of being a little punk in the corner, come on, do your thing, get ready, let's do what we got to do. And you could have introduced Neymar in the same breath. So to me, if they would have had Chadwick, well, not Chadwick, but Black Panther, just stay steady, man. Stay on ice. You in a coma, you doing your thing. We'll let your sister ride for at least 2 or 3 shows or movies or whatever, and then we'll recast you and bring you back. I go to a movie that they didn't recast it. Well, they decided to not recast it. Well, they're going to recast the character eventually. Fast and the Furious series, right? Paul Walker. When he died, you look how they celebrated him at the end of that movie, right?
Yeah.
So now you go back and you be like, well, where's the character at? Oh, he's just somewhere off doing his thing, blah, 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 right? You're like, okay, wow. So you didn't kill him off, even though he did die in real life, right? And it was tragic. So you can do the same thing. Or also you can treat Black Panther like James Bond, right? Different brothers playing him each season, decade, or whatever, right?
Use that multiverse.
Exactly. Use it, right? Somebody said John Washington, Denzel's son. He would have been perfect, right? Different brothers playing him in different times. Hell, you can get Idris Elba to play him as an older Black Panther. So there's different ways that you can do this. But if they would have recast T'Challa and said, hey, we're going to recast him, we're not going to kill him off, I would have gave it at least a 7 or 8. And I'd be like, okay, I can deal with kind of this other stuff, but at least I have hope, hey, they're going to eventually recast him and do something with this. So that's for me.
Yeah. We got Dems and Idris for the new Black Panther. Let's see. Oh, people are petty. Breaking news. Meg Thee Stallion has been declared the new Black Panther for the third movie.
She was in She-Hulk. Yeah, she was in She-Hulk. So
she could. She definitely is more believable than the Shuri we had. I'll tell you that.
Oh man, if we could have had a curvy, thick, that would have been everything. Like if we could have done like old school, and I'm never, because I think people feel like we're body shaming when we say, we don't want to see these things. I'm never that. I'm a small woman myself, but I don't want to have to just suspend all disbelief to believe that this particular woman in this particular body type can do a certain thing. I think that's a bit much, but I would have loved to see like a whole foxy, thick, like kicking butt. I would have loved that.
Like a Pam Grier.
Like a Pam Grier. Oh
that's
man.
Yes. Foxy Cleo Brown. Yeah. I just saw Black Adam earlier today. Was it Alice Hodge who played Hawkman? Could have been a great Black Panther.
Yes.
Hey, J-Rock, you with me, bro? I said the same thing.
Namor does not yield.
He did.
Okay. And M'Baku, played by Duke, saved the movie for me. The only strong Black male present. At least he is king now. That girl on girl kiss killed it though. So are we sure he's king now?
What was that? I don't even know what that was when he
what was that? So when they went to the challenge, right, she dipped out. She had to go visit, Haiti. So what was that? Is he king now? I'm confused. Does anybody know?
After he got punched in the chest and he it was comical, I kind of checked out. And I know I checked out after the arm wrestling match. I'm sorry.
The armor, yeah.
See, I think I checked out before that, but technically, once he said the king will be back or whatever, maybe a stand-in, but I don't know. That whole scene didn't make any sense. I felt like that was like nostalgia to say, hey, remember this scene from Black Panther 1? This is it. I'm like, what? It didn't make it's one of those scenes that shouldn't be in there, and it shouldn't have made the cutting room floor. That's why, like you said, Courtney, the movie was too long. They should have shaved off at least 20 to maybe 15 to 20 minutes of the movie, and that shouldn't have been in there.
Yeah, no, they should have shaved off about 45 minutes. A lot more. How did the queen die when she got Riri 3 feet from the hole? Yeah, I don't know if I agree with her death. It just seemed.
Yeah.
I don't know, at that point with the direction that the movie was going in, I was questioning whether or not Miss Bassett didn't agree with the direction that the franchise was going in. Like, if she asked to leave, like, I want to buy out, like, I would rather not continue. Can y'all kill me off? I wasn't sure if she asked for that or not with how it was presented, because I didn't see any other reason. Like, why would y'all do this?
Right. Me either. Let's see. After inflation tickets are 30 and more, that means Wakanda Forever made 120 mil on the first weekend compared to the first movie. They have to make 800 million to break even. That said, not as popular or profitable. They gonna learn. They gonna learn. Yeah, let me see. Okay, you know what makes a good movie? Good storytelling. My kids should be watching a fun, action-packed movie, not a movie about sexual orientation. I feel on that dope panel. Thank you, Marcus Evans. I give the movie a 6. So what I think could have been also in the movie that we could have let Shuri be Black Panther for a minute, but when it came to the fighting and she made that little thing that made her strong, she could have got that. Why couldn't she give it to M'Baku and make him go there whooping ass? So it could have been a whole lot of different things that could have happened again, but this is what we got, and this is what we stuck with.
I thought we would get like a training sequence, like Shuri like going through the motions in the process of becoming the Black Panther, and not just jump into like all the way at the end of the film, her drinking the herb and instantly the Black Panther. I thought that we was gonna go Rocky Balboa style, honestly.
Right. And you know who I would have liked to see versus her? Okoye. Okoye already had the skill set. She has she just had it. And I'm like, you get Okoye, I can believe Okoye better than I can believe Shuri. What they should have did was they should have made Shuri the Black Panther early in the movie. Like you said, struggle to put her through some type of montage where she's struggling to be the Black Panther and then eventually throw it away and then bring it back. And I'm here, and it would have been better, right?
Yeah. Or even like we have all these. We should have wrote it. We have all these.
They might be looking at us.
Or even having to where like she's inspirational, because even though it's like, I know that I have a small frame. I know that let me show you all the technology, technical, like all the knowledge that she has. There were so many multiple ways for her to incorporate her true self and all the inventiveness and all the things that the first one, she kept giving all of these gadgets, and like if we could have did that and had to be like, even though I'm this, I can use certain things along with me being agile in the herb to defeat you. Like, even though I'm small, don't underestimate me. We didn't even do that.
Right.
Yeah, I get it. Let's see. The pallbearers were all women. That's a first for me. Strong ass women. This is what it was. So, all right. And don't forget about Blue Marvel, another Black hero.
DC. Is it? I think it's no. It's Marvel. It's Marvel. I think Blue Marvel. Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's Blue Marvel's from Marvel itself. But yeah, he's another Black superhero coming.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys, I am going to wrap it up. We are almost hitting the 2-hour mark. I want to thank you so much. I didn't know if I was going to do a review, but I wanted to kind of, respond to some of the backlash that I've been getting. And then seeing you guys review, I was like, okay, I know I'm not the only one that thinks that way. And again, you two being a Black woman and a Black man that had a different kind of perception of the movie, I thought it was important to see that we can still critique ourselves. And our critiquing ourselves doesn't mean we hate ourselves or I hate Black women. And I just want to attack the black folk. No, it's an honest critique. And we see a thing that's going on and have the balls enough to speak about it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you guys your eggs, and we'll start, of course, with ladies first. So Struggle TV, tell us more about your page and anything else you want us to know. And I'm gonna put you can subscribe to both content creators. They're added on my title. So please subscribe to these phenomenal people. But go ahead, Struggle TV. I got you.
Oh man, I am just so happy to be here. This is me getting into, like, I'm surpassing my second year being on YouTube or being a content creator at all. And it's just been really difficult to find your footing and find yourself, because before I didn't get on here to, talk about, what performs on YouTube for Black women in our aesthetic. Only certain things sell. A lot of times people don't want to hear your opinion on things like films. So to just even be here and be able to express my dislikes with this movie, or just be here, because sometimes with the backlash that you do get a tendency to feel like, what, is it just me? Like, I know it's not just me, so I love that. But I do have a paywall up for my content. My channel has grown so much this year. I am trying to get to 10K before the year is out. I am a little bit over 9,000. So of course, if you guys can help me with that, that would be awesome. But outside of, critiquing things, I have a really dope channel, and I have a lot of fun on my channel. I love inducing, comedy and laughter. I do a lot of skits. I'm also getting into album reviews and just expanding myself creatively on the platform to just give people diversity. And I just try to shine on here as much, because if you don't shine, especially as a Black woman, and offer something different, you'll get overlooked. So if you guys could just support me on my channel and also follow me on Instagram and get to know what I have to offer, that would be awesome.
Hey, thank you. And that is Struggle Reviews TV. And I appreciate you. And again, when I saw your review, I was absolutely intrigued. And thank you so much. All right. And of course, go ahead. Oh, Cool Reviews.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Like, once again, Courtney, we appreciate you. It's been a long time coming. I've been on YouTube going on 3 to 4 years now. I actually started in the sports realm with actually Courtney's brother, and with our Tennessee Titans Weekly Reviews. We are big Titans fan. If you can see back there, tighten up. So we do. And I'm a guy that love movies. So I said, you know what? Let me create my movie channel. I just created my movie channel about a couple of months ago, and man, it's been a journey, man, and I'm getting there, and I'm on pace I got to hit 53 subscribers. I'm trying to get to at least 200 by the end of the year. So, guys, if y'all like movie reviews, shows, eventually I'm gonna start doing albums. Hey, check me out. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button when you come through, and come join the Cool Movie Reviews family. So I really appreciate it.
Yay. Well, thank you so much. In the last super chat, I'm going to read from my guy. What's going on, Richie? This is Zoom to Thailand. SWAB, still Wakanda's ass back. That's right. I just saw the movie. Black actors already know who controls the narrative. We just sit there and take it because we refuse to control our own narrative. Salute to you and the panel. Thank you so much. And Richie is actually an insider. He's been playing and acting in Hollywood for a while. I know he was in the movie House Party. So he definitely knows what is going on. Thank you so much, Richie.
Richie, man.
So I'm going to go ahead and drop you guys. I'm going to say my salutations, and then we're going to wrap it up.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys. This has been awesome. I absolutely enjoyed the stream. It's a little different than what I'm used to. I never really reviewed movies, but this one was, like I said, something special that I thought was important. And again, like I said at the beginning, and I'm going to say it at the end, there is definitely things that are happening, obviously, and it is the erasing of men. And it's just being agendas pushed. And for me, this is more than just a movie. And movies are not just made just solely for entertainment. They have meaning, they have purpose, and it's a global thing that everyone looks at. So what is it saying to us? What is it saying to our children, and how would it affect them? And that's my sole purpose. And it's always going to be is that I want us, our image matters, what we represent matters. And, I'm just not going to sit here on my watch and see my men dip out and then I got to go and fight. And for every woman that is excited about wanting to fight, then I'm gonna need you to sign up in the army and go head on and fight for your country. But I'm sure you don't want to do that. So if you don't want to do that in real life, why do you want to see it in film? So anyways, you guys, I appreciate you so much. Like, comment, subscribe, all that. The 2 people that I had was super dope. Cool movie and reviews, struggle movies, struggle reviews, TVs. Make sure I got that right. But go ahead and subscribe. They are linked to the title. So until next time, you guys, be a blessing. Thank you.